next game in the Rockies replay, game number 8, played on Saturday night, August the 5th, 2025. Of course, it's Saturday night, June 20th, 2026, as we stream this. Marquez on the mound for the Rockies. He lost his first start. He's 0-1 with a 10.38 ERA in his first start. J.P. Sears on the mound for the Athletics. He lost his first start. This is on the Action PC computer. He lost his first start. He's a 1.80 earned run average. Marquez is a +5 trying to hold runners, so that might be difficult for him. Sears is a -3, so should be a little bit better. Coors Field, 1-19 for singles on both sides of the plate. Home runs are 1-9 both sides of the plate. Hello, Thomas. Good to see you. Yeah, everybody else is probably watching Gardner unbox whatever he's unboxing. Football cards or something or other. I don't know. I'd rather play baseball myself. Right, so Lawrence Butler will lead things off. Hello, Mr. Robert. I took the liberty to write down the averages for the Rockies on the Action PC computer. That is accumulated from the Action PC computer from my input. And also the Athletics, I did notice that Bleday, JJ Bleday, is hitless. He's 0 for 30. And that's mostly on the Action PC computer. One game, playing it here. But I do have the other guys here for the Rockies as well. Yeah, there's a whole lot of talking on the other channels. I get that. My philosophy is those that can play. Those that can't, talk about it. So I'll leave it at that. All right, here is Lawrence Butler. He's in right field. And that is 5-6, and that's going to be a strikeout. So Marquez gets the strikeout. I'll bring up Brent Rooker. That's a 1-9. 1-9, and that's a strikeout too, back-to-back. I'm not mad at them, RJL. I mean, if that's what they want to do, go for it. It's just not my thing, that's all. Not really firing any shots, just saying what I believe. All right, here is JJ Bleday. 4-8, and that's his first hit of the season. He gets a single. So Bleday will not run anywhere. 2 outs, and that brings up Shea Langoliers, catcher. That's a 1-5, and that's another strikeout. So Marquez strikes out the side, and the Athletics go in, pretty quietly in the first. We go to the bottom of the first, and it'll be J.P. Sears for the Athletics. He was 7-9 with a 4.95 ERA real world. He had his one start on Action PC. He lost it, but had a good ERA of 1.80. So I chicken scratched the little batting averages here. So Doyle, as the leadoff hitter, is hitting 161. So not the kind of average you want for a leadoff hitter, but that's just what he's hitting right now, 161. He hit 233 real world, but he's definitely struggling. And that is a 3-10 against the lefty Sears, and that's ground ball to first, 1 out. 1 out, and here's Ezekiel Tovar. Hello, Joel. Here's Tovar. Tovar is hitting 333 on the replay, so he's doing a little bit better. 4-7 against Sears against the right-handed hitter. 4-7's a 1-2 for a single. And that instead will be a line out to third. And that is snagged over there by Schumann. 2 down for Ryan McMahon. He's hitting 321 on the replay so far. That is a 4-5, and that's a strikeout to end the inning. Now, the interesting part is that tomorrow night's game, the Oakland A's starter is not carded. So I will have to use the nameless player that best fits that starting pitcher. So that'll be a little awkward. I mean, like I said, I use it for Chris Bryant but that's just a one at bat thing. But to have to use that card for the starting pitcher is going to be a little bit unique. But we'll give it a try and see how it does. I have no other alternative. I mean, they're not carded. What can I tell you? Hello, Ben. Good to see you. All right, here is Tyler Soderstrom, first baseman. 1-7, and that is a fly to center field. Boy, he's got a loaded column 1, but he found the 7, which is a fly to center, 1 away. And that'll bring up Jacob Wilson. I guess I could have been more snarky in that unboxing video, but I guess I kind of thought I was trying to be, but I guess in secret or in the back of my mind, I kept it pretty civil. So here's Jacob Wilson. That's a 3-7, and that's going to be a 1-10 single. Yeah, I was mainly it was about the title. That was the main reason why I did that. All right, 1-10 is a single. And that's 12. He's going to line it to third. But I remember when the payoff pitch game pulse first came out. And I know there were at least 3, maybe 4 videos were put out on YouTube that all had first look. Now, once I see it once, it's not a first look anymore. So I don't get the whole first look thing. Maybe somebody could explain that. So I don't know. How can you have a first look when it's, 2 people have already beat you to the punch is my question. Maybe if you want to put the title My First Look, then maybe that's a way to do it. But to put first look, when you put first look in the title, that's me reading into it that you have something that no one else has shown before. It's brand new. Nobody's ever seen it. You're the first one to report on it. And that's the whole thing. But when you're the third guy to do it, how in the hell can it be a first look? That's just my question. All right, here is Seth Brown, 4-8, and that's a single. I mean, I think it's a legitimate question. I'm just trying to figure out what the first look means. Because to me, when I read it, it means golf will. I actually recorded golf, and it will be. I figured History Maker Golf is not something I want to do live stream. I'd rather record that. It's much easier for me to record it. So I've already recorded it, played it. I will upload it tomorrow. And to make sense, golf final rounds are always on Sunday. So I will put that up Sunday afternoon. It's already been finished, and it's about an hour long, and I'll put that up on Sunday. But yeah, from now on, I'm going to do golf. It's going to be recorded. I'll do live strat, but golf is going to be recorded. All right, Seth Brown reaches on the single. Here is German Marquez to Urias, 1-7. He walks. First walk issued by Urias. Here is Schumann. And that's a 6-8 for Schumann. Oh, 1's a triple. 2-20 is a double. The A's will strike first. That is a double to center field. We know 1 run's going to score. Will Urias score? There are 2 outs. And he is a trail runner not being held. So from a 10 to an 11 up to 13. But Doyle is a -3 arm because it's assumed to go to center field. So that would make it a 1-10. So 1-10, they're gonna send Urias to try to score. The throw's coming in from Doyle. Schumann will take third on the throw, but if they get him at the plate, it'll be the third out and it'll be irrelevant. So 1-10, and he's in there. He's out at the plate. So they try to get greedy, and Doyle, with a perfect relay to Tovar, throwing in and getting it to Goodman, and that's going to get the out. So they limit the damage to 1 run. We go to the bottom of the second. It is 1-0. And J.P. Sears will lead off. move this out of the way. And real quickly, just before we start the bottom of the second, I have a visitor right here. Every year got messed up there. There you go. There she is. There she is. Right here. That's how close she is to me. I can reach over here and pet her. So she is here, monitoring the festivities of the game, in case you all were curious. All right. Hunter Goodman will lead things off against Sears. Goodman hitting .483 so far on the replay. Been tearing it up. Oh, I rolled the D20 by mistake together with that. I wasn't really supposed to do that, but I'll count it anyway since I did it. 411. 411 is a ballpark blast, but that's a 12, and he needed a 9 or less. So fly to left, and that's one away. So one down. And now Chris Bryant using the nameless player card. Chris Bryant hitting .083 on the replay. That's a 110 against the lefty, and that's a ground ball to short. 2 down, and that's going to bring up Michael Tolia. Tolia hitting a .130 on the replay. 211. You're saying the 12 was one, that was already, I never picked it up. Is that what you were saying? Because I thought it went through the chute. Maybe I misread that. I don't know. 211, and that's a fly to center. Is that what you're telling me, that the 12 was already down there and I rolled it, I never picked it up and I rolled on top of it? Okay, so now I'm going to go back and roll for Goodman's home run. He needs a 1 to 9. It's a 12 again. So as it turns out, fortunately, I didn't blow it or didn't change anything because I re-rolled a 12 once again. But thank you for letting me know that. I did not realize that. I thought it was weird. I didn't think I'd put the thing down to shoot, but when I looked down here, the dice were there. And the D20 probably affected the D6s because it wasn't a clean pocket there. So, but that's all right. We're not trying to cure brain cancer or anything. We're just playing Strat. So if something weird happens once in a while, we'll let it slide. All right. Here is Lawrence Butler. I thought they called him Larry Butler, but they're saying Lawrence Butler. So we'll go with it. 2-7 for Butler. He's going to walk. Second walk issued by Marquez. And Butler's going to try to run because Marquez has the +5 hold. So we'll see if we can get a lead. He needs a 2 through 5, 11, or a 12. 7, he does not get the lead, so he will hold. And here is Brent Rooker. Yeah, it's that's why I started rolling them separately. 4-8, and that's going to be a trouble for Marquez. That is a double 1 to 13, single 14 to 20, and that's a 14 to 20 makes it a 19. So that's a single 2 stars, and all of a sudden Marquez is in trouble again. Runners at the corners, nobody out for JJ Bleday. Infield is back for the double play. That's a 2. Chance for a balk or pass ball. We're looking at a pass ball opportunity on Goodman. Hunter Goodman's pass ball rating's only a 1, so not likely to be a pass ball, and it is not. So Bleday will stand in. 3-11 for Bleday. It's a ballpark blast. At worst, it's going to be a sacrifice fly. 1 to 9, it's a 3-run homer. And it's gone. JJ Bleday was hitless coming into this game. He's made up for it with a single and now a 3-run home run, and it's 4-0 Athletics. So after the Rockies blew them out yesterday, Athletics look like they're trying to get payback. It's 4-0. And here comes Shea Langoliers. 1-5, and he's going to strike out. Strikeout number 4 for Tyler Soderstrom. Or Soderstrom, I'm not sure how it's pronounced. 4-7, lefty. It's a single 1 to 15. And that's a base hit. 1 to 15. Soderstrom will try to get the lead. He needs a 7 to get the good lead. Doesn't get it. He'll hold. Here's Jacob Wilson. 3-3 3-3 is a ground ball first base C. That's a 3-1 put out with the runner advancing to second base. 2 down for Seth Brown in a clutch situation. He loses a hit into clutch 2-12 and 3-9. And that is a 3-5, and that's a strikeout to end the inning. Strikeout number 5. But the 3-run home run from Blade gives the Athletics a 4-0 lead. J.P. Sears has proven to be tough so far. Sears has shown to be a craftsman through the first 2 innings. Here's Farmer. He's hitting 278 on the replay. And that's a 3-12 against the lefty. It's ground ball first base C. So, again, first base to pitcher covering, 1 away. And here is Sean Bouchard. He's hitting a $167 on the replay. That is a 2-7. And he's going to fly it to center, 2 down. And here comes Jordan Beck. He is 0 for 19 on the season. He has yet to get a hit also, just like Blade. So now he's got a chance against the lefty. He's got a good column 1. Searching for his first hit, 2-4. He might get it with a ballpark single. I think he will, 1-19. Be awful bad luck if he didn't. And he gets the base hit. So Jordan Beck now 1 for 20. Now hitting at 0-50 on the season. Jordan Beck down 4-0. They're not going to try to run. So they'll leave it up to Brenton Doyle. That's a 2-7, and that's a 1-2 double. 3-20 is a single, 2 stars. And that's going to be a single, 2 stars. Runners on the corners, 2 outs for Tovar. Tovar, the batter. They will hold Doyle at first, but he won't try to steal, not with Tovar coming up. Don't want to run yourself out of an inning. Tovar against lefties is neutral in the clutch. 2-9, and that's 1-2 for a double. 3-20 will be a single. And that's going to be a base hit. 2 stars. The merry-go-round continues. Runners on the corners again. Beck scores, cuts the lead to 4-1. RBI single for Tovar. 2 down for Ryan McMahon in the clutch. Lefty-lefty matchup. That's a 2. Checking the wild pitch rating of Sears, which is only a 1. And there's no wild pitch. So McMahon in the clutch will lose a hit on 1-4 and 3-6. That's a 6-9 lefty. That's a solid double to right field. This could score 2 runs. Doyle will score for sure. Tovar was being held, so that would make him a 12, but there are 2 outs, makes him a 14. The double went to right field. 0 arm. So 1-14. That's good enough odds for me. We're going to send him 1-14, and he's in there. McMahon only runs at a 12, so he will not take third. But a 2-run double for McMahon all of a sudden is 4-3. And the best hitter on the team coming up in Hunter Goodman. In the clutch for Goodman, he loses a hit on 3-11. So 1-11, though. It's a ballpark single check, and this is going to, well, it won't tie the game because it's only a 1-base advancement, but it keeps the inning going. Runners on the corners. But then you got you-know-who coming up, Chris Bryant. Better get something off a Sears card. Well, that got hung up there, so we're going to re-roll that. There we go. 1-3, and he walks, so he keeps the inning going. How about that? Chris Bryant coaxes a walk. And the bases are loaded now for Michael Toglia. In the clutch for Toglia, he is completely neutral. That's another 2. This time it's a pass ball chance on Langoliers. And Langoliers' pass ball rating is a 3 for Langoliers. Pass ball of 3. And he does not make a pass ball, so Toglia will have to hit. Hello, Jonathan. Good to see you. Ryan B. Good to see you. 5-7. Switch hitter batting right, struck him out. So the Rockies send 9 to the plate. 3 of them score to counteract the 3 they gave up. We go to the 4th. It's 4-3 favor of the Athletics, but the Rockies are hanging in there if they can get some decent pitching. Here is Urias, 4-8. And that's another bad spot for Marquez to hit. 1 to 13 is a double, and it's a leadoff double for Urias. I'll bring up Max Schumann. Schumann, 2-4. And that's trouble for Marquez as well. That's a 1-4. 2-4 over here is a 1 to 11 single. 12 to 20 lines out. And that's a base hit, 1 star. Runners on the corners, nobody out. Seen that movie too. Rockies could be going to the bullpen early here as Marquez is struggling. Back to the top of the order for Butler, playing for the double play. They're playing back for a double play. 6-7, but he's going to walk him, so it's going to load the bases. And that is the third walk from Marquez. And now the bullpen is active. Rockies bullpen. You look at their bullpen, and they have Jimmy Herget loosely in the bullpen, right-hander. Marquez may not be around long. Bases loaded, nobody out. It's already given up 4 runs. And here's the DH, Brent Rooker. Playing back for the double play again. 5-7, and that's a double, not a double play. That's going to be it for Marquez. He's done. Marquez is history. 2 runs will score for sure. We're going to check and see if Butler comes around to score. He runs at a 14, not being held as a 15. The double is going to center field. Doyle is that -3, makes it a 1 to 12. So they will hold him at third base with nobody out. But that's going to do it for Marquez. He's going to make it 3+ and get shelled. As you would expect, 3-16 to 6.70 ERA. So Jimmy Herget is on to try to get out of the mess. And he's a -1 hole, which makes him a 0. So the numbers on Marquez, and they aren't pretty. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 hits. He's going to walk 3 and strike out 5. So far, he has given up 6 runs, but he is responsible for these 2 as well. And due up is Blade. He has singled and homered. Infield is in with nobody out. Trying to choke a runoff. That's a 112 against the righty. And that's a low max to second base. This could be a triple play. Could be. I got to get my rule book out. I know in Super Advanced, certain conditions have to be met for a double play. And I got to figure out what the heck I did with my rule book. I had it a second ago. Now I don't know what I did with it. There it is. Let's go to the old Lomax and see what is needed for it. I've never had a triple play, so this could be a first. First look at a triple play. You got that? Did y'all catch that? First look? We'll get a first look here. I might put that in the title if it comes up. There is Lomax. All right. Looks like Ben beat me to it. But for those that are watching that later on that don't see the chat, I'll talk about it real quick. And it's down here in 17.2 on page 7 of the rule book. And it says if the roll is 1 to 7, it's a triple play. All right. 1 to 7 is a triple play. Is everybody watching? Because it would be a first look. And I want to make sure everybody knows it would be a first look if it's a 1 to 7. And you knew it wasn't going to be a 7. I mean, you just knew it. It's the Rockies, so what do you expect? It throws 8 to 20. It's a line double play with the lead runner being doubled off. So the runner on third is doubled off. So even it almost doesn't sound realistic, but they have runners at second and third. The line out goes to second. It seems like they would double the guy off second because he's closer. But maybe the guy on third is the one that was brain dead and tried to run or whatever. So it's a line out to second, and I guess we call it a 4 to 5 double play. Very weird scoring there. But Herget throws 1 pitch, gets 2 outs. Almost they came that close to a triple play, and it would have been a first look. No question about it. It would have been a first look. Could have been a contender. All right, here's Langoliers. 2 outs and a runner at second. 4-7, and that's a strikeout for Herget. So he gets out of the mess. Keeps it to 2 runs. Keeps the Rockies in the game. It is just 6-3, and the way their offense is at Coors Field, obviously they have the capability of scoring runs. They scored double digits last night, so always possible to get more runs. 6-3, bottom of the 4th, and Kyle Farmer, the batter. And that is a 5-7 against a righty, and that's a strikeout. That is the 3rd strikeout for Sears. That'll bring up Sean Bouchard. Rockies loader lineup with right-handed hitters. The only lefty is McMahon. Everybody else is a righty or a switch. Bouchard, 6'8". That's a fly to right, 2 down. For Jordan Beck, who got his first hit of the season, his only time up. That's a 5-8, and that's a strikeout, number 4. So Sears shuts down the Rockies in the 4th. We go to the 5th. It's still 6-3. Jimmy Herget. I have no idea who put their name to Sears Sporting Goods. I don't remember. That was way back in the day. All right, here is Soderstrom or Soderstrom. I gotta find out how to really pronounce that name. Let's see, 4-12. It's the lefty. That's a ground ball first base X. Tolley is a 3. 3 and a 7 should be okay. 3 and a 7 is a G3, and he is an E6. So the only errors are 3, 13, and 18. And no problem there. Tolia gets it, throws to Herget covering, 1 down. And that will bring up Jacob Wilson. It's a 3-6 for Wilson. That's a base hit. Brings up Seth Brown. Wilson will not be held. Seth Brown, 6-7 for lefty, struck him out. Second strikeout for Herget. And he has fatigue factor of 2, so he can go another inning after this if need be. And it probably will be a need be. That's a 1-6. And it's a ground ball right back to Herget to end the inning. So we go to the bottom of the 5th. It is still 6-3. And I know probably most of you watching right now probably don't care that much for Strat-O-Matic Basic, but for the people that do, my Sunday Basic Sunday game will be tomorrow morning. And then tomorrow afternoon, I'll upload the golf, the final round of the Valspar Classic or Valspar Championship. And then tomorrow night, roughly around 9 o'clock or so, we're right back for the final game of the Colorado Rockies and the Athletics. And then they take Monday off. That's what the Rockies did. So that's what I'm going to do. Take Monday off. And then Tuesday, we're right back with the Rockies playing the Brewers in the 3-game series in Colorado. Here's Brenton Doyle. 6-6. That's a line out to short. 1 away. That is snagged over there by Wilson. Here comes Tovar. 1-7 for Tovar, and that's a strikeout. 2 down for Ryan McMahon, the only lefty in the lineup. 6-3, and that's a fly ball right field X. Right field for the Athletics is Butler. He is a 3 with an E2. So 3, let's check the 3 here. He needs a 7 or higher to get to this. 10 is just fine. E2, his only errors are 18 and 16. He's got to avoid 18 and 16, which he does and makes the play. and that'll take care of it. So 7 in a row retired by Sears. And we go to the 6th. This will be Herget's last inning. And he'll be facing the number 9 hitter, Schumann. 2-6. Schumann struck him out. Herget with his 3rd strikeout. Here's back to the top of the order, and Butler, he's struck out and walked twice. We get 5-10, lefty. Ballpark single check, so obviously pretty much a base hit guaranteed. 95% chance. And now he will try to get the lead as well. Needs 2 through 5, 11, or 12. Does not get it, so he'll hold. For Brent Rooker. Rooker has singled and doubled, 2 for 3. 5-8. And that's a ground ball second base X. This could be a double play. Ground ball second base X, although they were holding Butler at first, and the second baseman is responsible when a righty is up there. So Farmer will move from a 3E5 to a 4E5, and that can make a huge difference. He is now a 4E5. 4-16, though, shouldn't make a difference. 4-6, well, actually it will. 4-16 makes it a G2. 3-16 would have been a G1, but 4-16 is a G2. Error chance is a E5. 16 and 18, the only errors. And he makes the play, but it could have been a double play. But instead, since he was having to hold the runner on, it only ends up being a 4-6 fielder's choice. Rooker, the new runner, now will not be held with 2 outs for Blade. 3-8, and that's a 1-3 double. Anything else, he flies to Doyle in center, and Doyle tracks it down for the out. So Herget, excellent outing for Herget. He's going to go 3 innings. So he definitely maxed him out. He will definitely be unavailable for tomorrow's game, but he'll be ready for Milwaukee when they start on Tuesday. So Herget's going to go 3 innings, give up 2 hits, no runs. And he didn't walk anybody, and he struck out 3. Stellar bullpen action for the Rockies. Couldn't ask for much more out of your bullpen guy than that. Sears, last inning was his fatigue inning, but he went 1-2-3, so he's got full endurance here into the 6th. And he'll be facing Hunter Goodman. 2-11 for Goodman, and that is a ballpark blast for Hunter Goodman. He had a chance in the first inning on a ballpark blast and just got up under it, or actually the second inning. Got another chance. He rolled a 12 last time. He needs a 1-9, and he gets the home run. So Hunter Goodman, home run Hunter Goodman to lead off the 6th. And for Hunter Goodman, bring up the computer here real quick for the Action PC. That's his 5th home run and his 14th run batted in. Unless he had a run batted in here too, which he may have. So that would be his 15th run batted in. 5 home runs already here in just the 8th game for Hunter Goodman. And a one-man wrecking crew for the Rockies. And the guy that's not the wrecking crew is Chris Bryant. 2-7, struck him out. And for Sears, that is his 5th strikeout. For Michael Tolia, 4-7, switch hitter batting right, and that's a 1-2 single. Anything else, he lines it to 3rd, and Schumann will get it. And Schumann barely snags it. 2 down. For Kyle Farmer, 6-8, and that's a fly to right to end the inning. So Sears still has some endurance. They'll let him go 7 innings. Save that bullpen. The bullpen was kind of worked a lot in yesterday's game, so they like to get the starter to stretch out a little bit. Speaking of the bullpen, the Rockies want to go to their bullpen. And I'm going to use the Action PC computer to give me an idea of who is the bullpen usage. So I'm going to click on the bullpen part of Action PC, and it'll tell me when they pitched last. So let's see. Victor Vodnik hasn't pitched in a while, so we'll go with Victor Vodnik. Victor Vodnik. Vodnik, 4-3, 3.02 ERA and 10 saves. I guess he eventually became the closer or did some closing at some point of the season. But right now in April, they're still feeling their way out in their bullpen. So we're going to go to Vodnik, and he'll be facing Langeliers, Soderstrom, and Wilson for the Athletics. And I have not called them Oakland yet. Hello, Heiser. All right, so Langeliers facing, let's get Vodnik's name here, and he's a -4 hold, which makes him a -3. So Vodnik will be facing Langeliers. Start the 7th inning. 3-4, and that's going to be a solid home run for Langeliers. Talk about greeting the relief pitcher. There you go, 3-4 against a right-hander or a left-hander, either one, it's gone. So Langeliers cracks a home run, makes it a 7-4 game. So the Rockies get a run back, and just that quickly, the Athletics take the run right back. So it's now 7-4, and here comes Tyler Soderstrom. 1-7, and that is a fly to center. One away. Yep, as Mr. Goodman would have said, clean as a baby's butt. Well, he used another word, but you know what I mean. Here's Jacob Wilson. 1, and what is this right here? This is a 3, so it's 1-7. Fly to center, 2 down. 2 down for Seth Brown, left fielder. 5-6, and that's going to be a base on balls. And that'll take us to Urias. Seth Brown's not going to try to go anywhere. 1-5 for Urias, and he flies to left to end the inning. Rockies get the run. And let's see if they're going to let Vodnik come back. They're going to let Vodnik go 2 innings. So he gave up the run there. And now we go to the bottom of the 7th, and this will be the last inning for J.P. Sears. They'll definitely cap him at 7 innings. Here's Bouchard. That's a 5-10, and that is a catcher X. Langeliers, 3-E-3. 3 and a 2. That's interesting. But with nobody on base, I still don't think it's going to matter. 3 and a 2 is a W/G. You needed a 1 for a hit there. So it's going to be a ground out, assuming there's no error. Only errors are 16 and 18. And so it'll be a 2-3 ground out. And Bouchard is out of there. Here's Jordan Beck, left fielder. 3-12 against the lefty. He grounds to short. 2 away for Brenton Doyle. 2-8 for Doyle against the lefty, and he grounds it right back to Sears to end the inning, and that's going to do it for Sears. He's going to go 7 innings, give up 4 runs, all of which was earned. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 hits. 5 of those 6 hits came in the 1 inning there. As far as walks go, he walked only 1. That was Bryant. And he struck out 5. So that's all for Sears. And now for the Rockies, they will bring Vodnik back out for the 8th inning. And he will face a Schumann, then Butler and Rooker. Max Schumann, third baseman. 5-10. Ground ball third base X. That is McMahon. He's a 1. We know he's going to get to it. We're just checking the error. He's an E10. That's a 16. That might be trouble. E10 and a 16 at third base. E10. He got lucky. Errors are 13, 3, 17, and 18. So no 16. McMahon makes the play. 1 away for Lawrence Butler. 310 for Butler, and that's a ballpark single check. So again, other than a 20, it's going to be a hit. And it definitely is. Butler's on. He's going to try to get the lead. Needs a 2 through 5 or an 11 or 12. If he gets the 11, he's going to get the lead and go. 18 being held is a 16. -3 is a 13. 1 to 13, he'll steal it. And he got caught stealing. Nice throw by Goodman. And they threw him out for out number 2. Here's Brent Rooker. 310 for Rooker, and that's a ballpark single check. So once again, base hit for Blade. Rooker definitely not going anywhere. Here is Blade. 4-9 lefty. He's a ground ball shortstop X. That is Tovar. He's a 2. 213, he'll get to that. E16. For an E16 shortstop, he's got to avoid the dreaded 14 and 17. Usually 14 is what gets him. This time he's on the ball and makes the play. So Vodnik does his job. He goes 1 inning. Gives up 2 hits, but nothing else. And we go to the bottom of the 8th, and we'll bring in a new pitcher for the Athletics. See who that's supposed to be. We got Tovar, McMahon, and Goodman coming up. So you get right, left, right. So you would think they would go to a right-hander. Mason Miller is their closer, so they want to save him for the 9th. So it looks like, to me, they're going to Tyler Ferguson. Ferguson will come on. And he's a +1, which makes him a +1. So bottom of the 8th, 7-4, favor of the Athletics. And here is Ezekiel Tovar due up. Back this up just a hair since we're getting at the corners here. Tovar, 5-3, and that's a fly ball right field X. We're looking at the right fielder Butler. He's a 3-E2. 3-3, that could be trouble. That's going to probably drop. 3-3 does drop for a double. So would there be an error at E2? E2 and 11, no error there, but it's going to drop for a double for Ezekiel Tovar. Starts off the bottom of the 8th with a double. And now's when you got to make hay. You got your good hitters coming up. Here's McMahon with Goodman on deck. 3-4 for McMahon. That's a 1-17 home run. 18-20 is a double. That's a 19. It'll be a double. So back-to-back doubles to start the 8th, and it's a 7-5 game. Tying run at the plate in Hunter Goodman, who leads the team with 5 home runs. Athletics have the bullpen going again. They have left-hander TJ McFarland loosing in the bullpen. If they can get an out or two, they'd probably go ahead and ask Miller to get a 4 or 5 out save, but they don't want to ask him to get a 6 out save. So Goodman, your batter. Ferguson getting knocked around with a couple of doubles. 1-7, ground ball to short. That'll freeze the runner, 1 away. For Chris Bryant, but now that a righty's out there, they're going to pull Chris Bryant and go to a lefty out of or off the bench. And they're going to go to Mickey Moniak, the Maniac. Moniak the Maniac, a 270 hitter. He'll stay in the game to DH. Mickey Moniak. So Moniak pitch hits here in the 8th inning. Runner at second. 1 in, 1 out. 7-5. Tying run at the plate in Moniak. That's a 3-11 against Ferguson, and that is a ballpark blast for Moniak. 1-9, and we got a tie game. It's gone. Mickey Moniak, the Maniac, hits a pinch hit 2-run home run, and we are all tied at 7 apiece. Tyler Ferguson just doesn't seem to have it. So he will be pulled. He's going to go a third of an inning. And he's going to give up 3 runs and 3 hits. He just definitely didn't have it. And TJ McFarland coming on to pitch for the Athletics. Left-hander, veteran. TJ McFarland. He is a -1. So McFarland is on. 7-7 game. And he only 1 out for the switch hitting Michael Toglia. That's correct, Brian. You just don't see that. You know, my pinch hitters, I need to go back and watch some old videos because I'm sure my pinch hitters have a very high batting average. Here's Toglia, 2-7 against the lefty. Ground ball to short, 2 down. And here's Kyle Farmer. Oh, that got hung up there. So let's try again. That got hung up there. Boy, it's getting to be troublesome here. There we go. 3-6 against the lefty. And that's a home run for Kyle Farmer, 1-16. And that's gone. Kyle Farmer goes deep. And the Rockies take the lead. They come all the way back with a 4-score Abraham Lincoln in it and taking an 8-7 lead. Kyle Farmer. Here's Bouchard. And now Halverson, the closer for the Rockies, at least one of their closers, is loosening in the bullpen. Seth Halverson. He had 11 saves on the season. 1-2, 4.99 ERA, and 11 saves for Halverson. So here comes Bouchard. That's a 6-7. That's ground ball second base X. That's going to be Urias. He's a 4. 4-13. He should get to that. 4-13 is a G3. His error rating's an 8. He's got to avoid 16, 17, and 18. Pretty basic. And he does that, so he makes the play. And that will take care of that. So McFarland's going to go 2/3 of an inning. And he's going to give up a hit and a run. And coming on to pitch is the closer, Halverson. Rockies going for their 2nd win in a row. Remember, the Athletics are 2-6 in the replay, so it's not like they are tearing it up. There is no Nick Kurtz or anything just yet, so they're not up to what they would normally be. So let's see here. We have a -1 for the hole. So due up, it'll be Langeliers, Soderstrom, and Wilson. If we look on the bench for the Athletics and see who they have available that could pinch hit, these are the available pinch hitters if they feel so inclined. Miguel Andujar, he's a 298 hitter, so that's a good choice. Urshela, 238, maybe not so much, and Max Muncy, 214, not so much. So if you use anybody else, it's going to be Andujar. But who do you pinch hit? Who do you use to pinch hit? I mean, you're not going to pinch hit for Langeliers. Soderstrom, 276, not going to pinch hit for him. Wilson's 311, so Andujar might have to come down to here to Urias to get a pinch hitting call there. So we'll see. Andujar taking swings in the back in the bowels of the stadium, trying to stay loose, but Halverson gets the call. You're right. Vodnik went 2 innings. Thank you very much. Only gave up I didn't count the 7th inning, did I? Duh. Thank you for that. Now, why does this thing work? Here we go. Let's recalculate here. No, he gave up 1 run. He's still the pitcher of record in order to get the win here, possibly. He went 2 innings. Gave up 3 hits and 1 walk, no strikeouts. So now we've got the official total here. Thank you for that correction. And now Halverson is out, and he'll be facing Langeliers, who homered his last time up. And now we're going to have to back up just a little bit. Those corners in here. Oops. too far. There we go. So Halverson, even Tabby shifted when that home run came up last time. So Halverson in there to try to close the deal and get the Rockies to 2-6, and put the Athletics to 2-7. Halverson 6-10. That 6 got caught down in there. 6-10, and that's a fly ball center field X. That's Doyle. He's a 1E3. He's virtually a Gold Glover. 1-20 is good. E3, center field. Only errors are 3, 16, and 18. And he will make the play, and Langoliers is retired. Here's Tyler Soderstrom. 3-8 for Soderstrom, and that's a strikeout. 2 down. It's up to Jacob Wilson to keep it going. He's 1 for 4. 1-5, and that's a double for Jacob Wilson. So the tying run is in scoring position for Seth Brown. But he will be called back, and Miguel Andujar will hit for him. Even though he's left-handed, he hit 185. So we got to bring in, just to be fair to the Athletics, we've got to give them a chance. So we're going to bring in a better hitter in Miguel Andujar, former Yankee. He will pinch hit here in the 9th. Look at Andujar on the 25 season. He hit 298 with 6 home runs. So he's got normal power both sides, against both sides, right and left. So it's a clutch situation. He's got a lot of single 2 stars on his card. Clutch situation, he will gain a hit on 1-6, and that's it. But he's got several singles with 2 stars on them. So dangerous hitter here. First base is open, but I don't think you have the ball. I would have the, well, you know what? This manager is going to do it. Call me crazy, but we're intentionally walking Andujar. Putting the go-ahead run on base, but we're going to face a much less hitter in Urias, who's a 230 hitter. Like I said, in the bench, you got Urshela and you got Max Muncy. Neither one of them are better. Urshela's 238. I guess it's a little bit better, but not much. Urias is 1 for 3. So we're going to walk Andujar. We're not going to let Andujar beat us. We're going to make Urias beat us. That's a 1. So wild pitch chance is a 16. And that's a wild pitch. It's going to put runners at second and third. Now the go-ahead runs in scoring position. People can second guess the managing here if you like. Urias, clutch hitter. In his clutch performance, he is anti-clutch. 112, 3-7, 3-3. He loses hits on all those places. Halverson trying to nail it down. 1-7, and it's a walk. It's going to load the bases and get us to Schumann. Schumann with the bases loaded. He's a 197 hitter. They will call him back and go for Urshela. Although Schumann is 2 for 4. You know what? We're going to stick with Schumann. He's 2 for 4. But Urshela is better. All right, I'll let somebody else make this call. What do you think? Schumann is a 197 hitter. Urshela is a 238 hitter, but Schumann is 2 for 4. But I'm still thinking about going to Urshela. So would you guys go with Urshela, or would you stick with Schumann? I'll give you a couple seconds to chime in, or else I'll have to make the call. I need my decider die to figure this out, I guess. How are they versus righties? There are the cards for each one. Schumann's got a better column 1 with some pop. Gio's got a better column 3. I'm leaning towards sticking with Schumann because he's got more opportunities here. Plus he's 2 for 4. But I'd be willing to have a visiting viewer manager make the call for me on that one to see which way do we go. So we're going to stick with Schumann then. Not going to pinch it. We're going to stick with Schumann. He is 2 for 4. So Schumann is 2 for 4. Bases are loaded, 2 outs. clutch situation for Schumann. He does lose a hit on 1-6. Halverson trying to finish the deal. He is the supposed closer of the team. I forgot to write in the 4 runs here, didn't I? That was kind of a Freudian thing not to do. Huh? All right, it is 8-7 Rockies. Top of the ninth, 2 outs, bases loaded. Halverson to Schumann. 5-6, and he struck him out to end the ball game. So it didn't matter who I would have went with. It was a pitcher card result, and he struck him out. So the Rockies have won 2 in a row, and this one they come back to win it after being down 7-4 in the starting the 8th inning. They come back with 4 runs in the 8th, capped off by a 2-run pinch hit home run from Mickey Moniak, the Maniac. So Halverson picks up the save. The win will go to Vodnik. The loss will go to McFarland. So Halverson gives up a hit, 2 walks, and 2 strikeouts, no runs. But you won't see many other channels with the tying run at second base and 2 outs intentionally walk a guy to put the winning run on base. But we did it, took a chance. It was followed by another walk, which really put us in bind. But then Halverson came through, and that's his card. 1-2, 4.99 ERA with 11 saves. So a little bit late there with Urshela, Robert. It wouldn't have mattered anyway because the result was off the pitcher card. So either way you went, righty, either right-hander would have made the out because it was a 5-6. It was a strikeout. And if you brought a left-handed pinch hitter in, he would have grounded to second, and the game would have been over also. So Rockies now win 2 in a row, and now I think we went from thinking can they win a game to how many can they win now, because I think they lost this game real world and was 1-7 real world. Let me double check that and see for sure what their overall record was after 8 games. Colorado Rockies here. Hold on. No, they actually won this. No, they won tomorrow's game. They lost this one to drop to 1-7, but then won the next day to go to 2-7. So if they lose tomorrow to the Athletics, then they will drop back to 2-7 and be right where they were. If they win again, 3 in a row, could you imagine a sweep? Could you imagine how bad the Athletics would feel if they got swept? So looking at tomorrow night's game, rather, for the Athletics, the pitcher is none other than Joey Estes. Joey Estes had 24 starts in 2024, but he only had 2 starts in 2025. Joey Estes. Flips this way. Joey Estes. So he only pitched 11 innings. So he is not carded by Strat. He is not carded. And he was 0-2 with a 9.82 ERA. So what I'm going to have to do is I picked out the worst nameless player that I could find. Worst nameless player pitcher I could find, I should say. Everything very poor and very poor. Of course, we'll use the advanced side, but that's the basic side where everything is very poor. So that's what we're going to use tomorrow night to mimic Mr. Joey Estes. I could pull his 24 card out and use that, but he was a whole lot better in 24. His ERA in 24 was only 5.01, not 9.82. So we're going to use this. Let me see how many innings he actually pitched in that game. Might be a quick hook here. Let's see. He only went 3 innings. So if I can make it for 3 innings, Mitch Spence pitched 4 innings in that game, real world. So we're going to treat Estes like an opener, and he will go at most 3 innings. And then we're going to have Mitch Spence pick it up after that. So that's what that's going to have there For the Rockies, it will be, as they will make their first roster move, as I do have the rosters here. So Bradley Blaylock, he pitched in relief yesterday. He has been optioned, and Chase Dolander is called up. He will make the start on tomorrow night's game. Chase Dolander, he gets the call. He gets the call up on the 6th. On their off day, Jordan Beck will be optioned and Zach Veen will be called up, but we don't have a card for Zach Veen, so I will be using a nameless player for him also. But Bradley Blaylock will get optioned down, and Chase Dolander will make the start. Chase Dolander is carded. He had plenty of starts, so he is carded. So it'll be Chase Dolander against Joey Estes. That'll be the matchup on Sunday, April the 6th. That'll be tomorrow night. As far as the programming goes, tomorrow morning we'll have the Sunday Basic Sunday game, which is pre-recorded. On tomorrow afternoon, we'll have the final round of the I can't even speak now all of a sudden. The Valspar Championship, I'll say it right now, from Florida. That'll be roughly probably about 3 o'clock or 4 o'clock tomorrow. And then around 9 o'clock tomorrow, we'll have Game 9, Rockies and Athletics. So thank you all for spending part of your Saturday evening with me. And we get to see the Rockies win 2 games in a row. How about that? Can't do much better than that, right? So let's celebrate. All right. The Rocky Horror Baseball Show will continue tomorrow night at 9 o'clock. So until next time, enjoy playing whatever game you choose to play. However you choose. Oh, wait a minute. I didn't get you the totals. What am I doing? I'm trying to be incomplete here. I'm so excited the Rockies won. I don't know what to do. So 8-7, your final. And let's get the totals here. For the Athletics, they pounded out 15 hits. Rockies only had 10, but they made them count with 3 home runs. Let's check errors. There were no errors on either side, I don't believe. No, there weren't. So there we go. Now we can wrap it up. 8 runs, 10 hits, no errors for the Rockies. 7 runs, 15 hits, no errors for the Athletics. Vodnik the winner, Halverson the save, and the loss goes to TJ McFarland. So until next time, Tabby wishes you adieu. Well, Tabby. Now she don't want to look up here. Okay, never mind. She didn't want to be on camera. What can I tell you? So that's going to do it from here. I want you all to have a great weekend and enjoy playing whatever game you choose to play, however you choose to play it, and we'll see you all down the road.